Turn your attention around. And at the same time, feel yourself as centered in your heart. In our kind of spirituality, you only have one job, which is to awaken or become aware of who and what you are. When you're ready, and when you can do it after some practice, this process of staring into our own selves loosens us from touch with daily life, and we enter a new sphere, one of utter bliss. Way, way beyond happiness. But one where you feel the love of God and of your own self simultaneously. And you join others in silence in the present moment, whether speaking or chanting or listening to music or talk. But the primary consciousness at all times is your own. I am but a small item in your existence. So is everybody else. Turn your attention toward yourself. Imagine yourself centered around your heart. Open your eyes. See the others here in the group and me. And ask yourself, what do you feel? What does it feel when I look at you and I look at members of the Sangha? What do you feel? I don't want an answer. I just want you to question for yourself. When your attention is turned around towards yourself, and your conscious mind can make that curvature out and then back in. Your sitting becomes very powerful. You become like a giant. Nothing perturbs you. Nothing distracts you. You are your own self. And that experience of your own self as you is the utter freedom that Robert Adams spoke of, and many before him. The freedom to be yourself. It's a rare freedom. Very few people have found it in the history of the world. And in our civilization, self is everything. But our civilization doesn't look within to find one's own self. This is a private thing that you can only do by yourself. We can sit here in meditation, and the meditation can be very deep and very sweet. The kind you can remember for a long period of time afterwards. But the miraculous thing is that what you are searching for is you. Not the you of everyday life, but the pure subject without any history, without any body. That deep you is invisible, even to yourself. You can feel yourself spread throughout your body. And this is a very powerful meditation. This kind of meditation can take you all the way towards freedom. No matter what you're looking for, or that you think you're looking for, it's not so much knowledge at all, but it is the experience of being completely absorbed into your own self. Sometimes you experience it witnessing yourself as a body in this expanse that contains all the other human souls. Sometimes it's just you by yourself. And when you truly grasp the totality of you and can rest there, you'll find a life so beautiful, filled with ecstasy. Not 100% of the time, of course. You're not a rock. You change by the moment. But it's like aiming a gun. You take a look at the target to your sights and line them up and wait for the quivering to slow down so you can hold the target in your sights, dead center. And that's what your mind should be. Poised over the abyss of nothingness. And nothingness should take your memories away. Take your home away. Take your body away. And just leaves you as you are, from the inside, not the outside. And that's what meditation is. We have a new kitten, and he's calling very loudly now. I'll have to go in there soon to pet him, maybe bring him out, or out. How are you, Max? Good to see you. Can you turn your attention around? Get it off me. And turn it toward yourself. First, turn your attention inward and feel your body. When this is done in true, total silence, it brings a wonderful kind of bliss. At other times, you just turn your attention inward. And you can sink deeply into the darkness of your inner self. All the time that you play like this with your mind, feel your heart always there. You can't feel it beating except upon occasion when you're very still. But that inner emptiness is that which contains the whole world when you're awake and going about. Human existence is such a mystery. I can do all kinds of things with my mind. Enter all kinds of states by chanting or other means. And I can also just stop and rest and let whatever was, is, or was, leave it alone. And just feel my own self. When you've practiced meditation long enough, you go for long periods without thinking or talking to yourself. You're empty of the other. There's only you. Only you. As far as you're concerned, you are the only one. If your body were not there, there would be no observation of the world from there, nor an ability to share what you've seen or what you've learned. But as it is, we are free to seek whatever we want, wherever we want. And if the object of your seeking is your own self, you can practice that anywhere, anytime. When you're having a meal and taste your first taste of soup, for example, you can feel the taste of the soup going down your throat and be in absolute silence at the same time. The mind doesn't have to move. It's trained you to allow it to move wherever it wants. But you can learn to focus your mind and be wherever you think you should be, as opposed to just finding yourself someplace and finding something to do. Feel the vastness of space around you. And if you open your eyes, that space gets replaced by vision of a room that your body's in. If you close your eyes, you can find yourself within. And just sink into that self within. Merge with it consciously. And this is a very sweet and very powerful meditation. It's self-learning, not by learning about yourself, but by turning your attention around and becoming yourself, by spreading your attention throughout everything that seems personal to you. Eventually, that zone of complete consciousness can shrink until it's the size of your body. And that's the total measure of your universe. And we do these things to learn about movement and consciousness and unconsciousness. Learning that we have a life of sounds, visual appearances, and a special place in our hearts where we worship God or that which is, or another person. This worship, this surrender of yourself to the other or to the environment, is so utterly freeing that after experience just once, it becomes easy to continuously focus your attention on your present experience without any back talking in the background or visualizing things. The mind with practice becomes obedient. Well, if it's not trained, it still rules you until you train it. Until you train it. Only then will you find out how important it is to feel this entity that is you. Your primary identity has always been feeling. When you're born, comes as quite a shock. Suddenly this vast world is presented to you and you have no idea where the beginning or end is. You're always somewhere in the middle. But you have the ability to train your attention in your mind also. To feel the deep breath of devotion and love for yourself and for others. If you don't feel that yet, you will. You will. When all is said is done, every word that can be spoken has been spoken endless numbers of times. And in that confusion, you can turn your attention around towards your own body. And gradually inhabit your body with this new energy of self-observation. Once you begin playing with your mind, your body, in meditation, things change. Your meditation gets deeper and deeper. The mind becomes more and more controllable to your will of having it stop or focus on one item. But just having this does not help you at all in your spiritual ascent. But in that emptiness, if you feel around the area around your heart, that heart energy becomes almost physical. And you feel your own presence in a number of different ways, including from the inside and the outside when you look down on your body. You look at your hand, you feel what your hand is like. And you can do that with everything in life. Be attentive to it. Now, generally, the way it is actually practiced is to have short periods of meditation and just being devoted to meditating and immersing yourself in your own self. And after a long time of immersing yourself in your own self, you come to love and welcome your own self. And your own self is the same in all people. The only things that are different are the names that we give things to people. When we turn our attention around, at least for me, it brings an instantaneous quiet and peace. From this place, I can go much deeper rather quickly. By allowing my attention to drop into my heart. And feel myself in the world from that position. You know your own self. It's what you wake up with every day. It consists of a body and a lot of thinking, which we may call the mind. But often the mind is like a restless bird who always wants to find something new, a new place, a new kind of berry to chew, better weather, whatever. You cannot transcend yourself. For the self is all that you have, all that you are. Look inside. If you have a hard time doing that, start at the forehead and turn your mind around and imaginatively look into your head. And do that gradually with your whole body as you bring your consciousness downwards, your attention, into the breath, the stomach motions, the positions of my limbs. This way you really get to know your own private world. And that knowing amounts to a kind of mastery of your own self, its desires, its needs, its capabilities, its spirituality. Its life itself. All of these become open to you. You can drop into and merge with your body, or you can merge with the cushion you're sitting on. You can go anywhere now in your imagination. Imagine yourself on the side of a small mountain. And while sitting there, with eyes closed, first you do listening. Sounds from outside. Sound of people, animals. And you shift your attention just to you. It's like my mind has taken over my body. And at the same time, this mind is still looking inwards into the body that I am. All these are ways to change what you feel in meditation. After a long while of sitting, though, you get to sit without any awareness of things like you're a good meditator. This is a good practice. All that's gone, leaving you mindless, but extremely happy and feeling extremely powerful as your existence pervades all of reality. It's quite a step up from ordinary living. In the large sense, you can transcend all of the limits you think you have. In what area of your area you're thinking about. But just manipulating your mind will never lead to happiness. Happiness happens when the search for self-knowledge ends and you're finally released from the task of finding and understanding yourself. And instead you just rest in your own self. Like a giant boulder near the sea, where you can hear the waves. You can feel the mist. You can feel the rain. When you look at yourself this way, you can change the meditation a bit by focusing on a certain area within your body, like your heart or lungs. And in this way, you become acquainted with yourself. The self that appeared to have nothing going for it, except it's like a dream state where you can rest by going into it and losing touch with the external world. Or you can get them congruent so that the meditation world is the same as your everyday world of being one entity among many. Anything is possible. It depends on what you want. No. With your eyes closed, feel yourself. Submerge yourself into your own body. Sink into your body. When I sink into my body and look around, I find a world of transient forms that are almost constantly changing. Move your arm, it changes. Move a leg, it changes. Wiggle your head, it changes. And soon, most of those changes you can do by moving your body or manipulating it somehow have been mastered by you and are a part of your life. You have a life of knowledge of yourself and of the world. But then you have to find out, is there a difference between the world and me? Am I like the world? And in what way? In strong meditation, you first become one with them, your meditating body and meditating intent. And it can freeze you. And when it freezes you, your mind stops too. Meditation can be playful. It doesn't have to be a ponderous thing that you're doing. It can be light and airy, as long as it's always directed inwards, to observe one's own self. Do you know yet who you are? I don't mean just like who you are as a name or something like that, but who you are as the mind that continuously evolves and changes. And after you've mastered the mind, so it either moves or doesn't move at your own will, you've gained control over the world you live in. You can be outside of it in a short period of time or in the midst of it very quickly. You can play with your reality. You can imagine all kinds of things about yourself and the world as an exercise in playing or daydreaming. To being deadly earnest to penetrate all levels of the mind except the primary one of just pure existence. When you become one with this state, your power increases many, many times over. You've freed yourself from many different kinds of illusions about one's own existence or the existence of mankind. And therefore the kind of meditation that almost all of us go through is being aware of ourselves in everyday life. How we greet people when we meet them. How we feel entering in a crowd of people. And the other end is to be totally isolated, where there's only you around. And not much to see outside of the room you're in. I can see myself. And it's not a real seeing, it's an imaginative seeing. And I can let my consciousness sink into the nothingness background. It's from a state like this that you can meditate upon your body and make all kinds of observations. Because now you're becoming expert in what happens to you in meditation. The finding of increasing energy in yourself. Or else finding a strong awareness that's like steel when you're observing it. And realize too that all knowledge is an unhelpful distraction from the primary mission, which is to know yourself. That's why we practice meditation, especially of the kind that asks, who am I? Every problem a meditator can have, you will experience. And if you persevere, for all intents and purposes, will call you free. In this freedom, will make you feel as light as a butterfly, and yet with the expanse of lasting forever in every direction, infinity. And in this infinity, each of us wraps a ball of awareness and self-awareness, so we realize we're a body and a mind on the earth with other people. I had a different kind of mission today when they started speaking to you. Which is not only to recognize the unity world we all live in, but also the differences between my world and your world in place and time. Does anybody have any question or a comment? How have you been, Max? How have you been?
So.
Do you have anything else besides that?
I'm not a big talker. Maybe can I call you later?
Sure, okay.
I thought today was very powerful, Edgy. It was exquisite, really, especially the metaphor of being a rock or a boulder somewhere, just anywhere, listening to nature, listening to life, listening to the life force and being it. No separation. So many times when you ask me what I'm feeling, I get it wrong because I think in terms of split mind, looking at events, and that's not it. It's like Robert Adams saying, you ask, who am I? But you don't answer it because you are the answer, or one is the answer. And that exquisiteness of that, the majesty of that moment of just being is perfect. And it was exquisite. And you took me so deep today. Really, thank you.
Oh, I'm glad you had a good time.
A good time, yes.
Good time, Jay.
I buckled up, strapped in. Yeah, good time, Jay. Good time, Edgy.
Does anybody else have anything to say or ask? Chris, do you have a question? Welcome
No,
back to the world.
no, I don't have a question. Well, I can ask you one. What would you like to call this satsang? What the name of the name of it for the YouTube when I post it? What would you like to call it?
What is it that you're posting? These
I
talks?
post yeah, I post these satsang videos on the Beingness channel on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So what would you like to call this one?
Utter bullshit.
You got it. Utter or Udder?
You
Utter
what?
or utter? Utter or utter? It's a
Utter.
joke. Never mind.
Utter. Utter.
No, not utter.
Not utter.
Dum.
Eric, how have you been? Can you answer, Eric?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
How have you
Talking
been?
to Eric. Really good. Yeah, really enjoyed the satsang today. Feeling spacious.
Good. That's what I wanted. You know, it's really something most people never even think of that are meditators. But instead of just having meditation reflexivity go for 2 or 3 sessions a day lasting anywhere from 15 to 35 minutes each. Surprise yourself and decide to go inside yourself at the drop of a hat and practice that way of getting into a meditative state almost instantaneously. It's really very possible because long-time meditators are pretty close to the meditation state all the time. Their world is relatively still, except for the bubbling of the life force that's coming through our body, making it do things and say things it shouldn't. But just feeling yourself now in the present. Feel your shoulders and your arms. Feel your face against the cooler air around it. Feel the moving air around your neck, causing a slight chill. Feel your body. How deep can your attention go inside your body? Some people can't get into their body at all as a feeling. They feel hopelessly locked out because they can't make the simple step of, instead of being objective, being subjective. But those who have problems with meditation, just keep on doing it. All these problems iron themselves out over a period of time, even though they may seem earthquake-like importance one day. 2 months later, it'll be forgotten altogether. And you can get to a place where you drop all things at the same time that you perceive them. And your attachment isn't there. And you can see them for what they are. But silence is catchy. Many people can't tolerate silence because it's so silent. There's nothing to do. Other people can't utilize their imagination to help their meditation. But just keep trying. When you really learn how to meditate, the prologue in the foothills of meditation, rising to crescendo of very powerful solitary sitting, where you become like a rock or a mountain. It's to die for. Okay.
Congrats on the new kitten.
Thank you. She's a darling. Right now, she's in her own room to get used to the house. This is her first full day. Will be now this time today. I really didn't want another one to come here. But Karima ordered her to come, so to speak. She's responsible, in other words, for the kitten. And I gotta tell you, it's really hard to fight the endearment that kittens make on me. Endearing feeling. of a kitten. That young life, 3 or 4 weeks old. But we're all like that too. We came into this world and we didn't know what was going on. At times it just felt like utter confusion, noise, loudness. And in the middle of that, you can be utterly silent and still as a mountain. If you've ever encountered a Zen master in the face-to-face meetings you have when you try to answer your koan, at a time like that, all that there is Roshi. Nothing else enters your mind. Everything around you was dedicated and created by Roshi. He created the world you live in and all your friends live in. A highly structured world. And you get, as a meditator, to learn all about it. Every pitfall, every variant of every psychological state you can go through. Meditators lead very interesting lives of self-discovery. All that stuff we discover is pouring out of our own selves. So that's why we learn to sit inside of our own selves and be our own selves rather than just listen to our own self. Are there any questions? Okay. Take care. I love you all so much. Come back next week, please. Bye-bye.
Hey Ed, this is Chris. Don't know if you know, but you're still on.
Yeah, I know I'm on.
Okay. Okay. Just checking.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
If I can go, that is.
Well, you want to stick around, have some music?
Not really.
Okay.
I think I'll just go and be by myself and enjoy it. Take care. Bye-bye, all.